Hello! We are filming with the phone because I tried filming with my computer webcam and the resolution was so trash. Welcome to another video with my face. Don't get too used to this haircut because I'm trying to get it cut. It is too long up here. But anyways, I thought it would be fun since October just started to kind of do a Q4 goals video. I'm gonna try to keep it nice, quick, and snappy. But yeah, let's talk about our goals for Q4 to end out the rest of 2025 really strong. As we get into this, first I want to do a really quick recap of how I'm doing on my 2025 goals. If you want to know what those 2025 goals are, I made a video about it way earlier at the beginning of this year that you can check out to see what I have planned for the year. But in terms of how I'm doing, I'm doing okay on them. I feel like I'm making progress in most of my goals, but maybe not the progress that I was hoping for, just because this year was really a year of a lot of changes, a lot of health stuff, a lot of travel, a lot of ups and downs. And it really isn't until this month I feel that I actually feel more like stable and like I can actually kind of lock in on my stuff and really focus. I definitely have been working towards my running goal. I don't think Portal House is going to get launched this year, unfortunately, but that does not mean I have not been working on it. It has just gone through a lot of big drastic changes, and I cut the story basically in half. So it went from 52 chapters to 26. So I'm on the rewrite writing. I'm trying to finish writing the entire story, and that is, we'll get into that. But Portal House has changed. I don't think it will get launched this year, unfortunately. I've been making some progress in my Korean study, not a ton, but some. I've actually been tracking my Korean study here on this tracker that my fiance got me. So when you see a light, that means that was a day that I studied. And if there's not a light, then yeah, you can put two and two together. Working on my graphic novel pitch, working well on my way on my reading goal, which is 25 books. I've already completed my watch 15 new movies or TV seasons, 8 new zines, 12 new stickers. Don't think I'm gonna hit that. I've made 2 zines so far and I haven't even started working on the stickers yet. Declutter apartment, I did that before I moved, and I do feel like our current living situation is in like a pretty decent spot, which yeah, this is a new angle of my kind of studio workspace room that I have in the house. And so those were like my resolutions. And in terms of like my actual goals, I did indeed move in with my fiance, and that is about it. The finance goals I had are not happening, but I am happy to say that I have found my freelance has been enough to kind of sustain me for the moment, which I am very happy about because it's just, I really enjoy setting my own hours, setting my own schedule, kind of deciding my work schedule. Sometimes it comes with a caveat of like, I don't put in as many hours as I want, but in terms of like the flexibility and the control and just like, yeah, just I get to control my day. I've really been enjoying that. So I think that trade-off for the moment is worth it. And I do feel my freelance is, it has ramped up in the past couple months. So I feel pretty comfortable in it, knock on wood. So those were my original initial 2025 resolutions and goals and kind of how I am doing with that. I will also add that even though it seems like I didn't make too much movement in my actual 2025 resolutions, I did halfway through the year start going in on like these mid-year goals because my life was in a spot that I really did not like, especially with regards to employment. I had taken on a full-time retail position and I hated it. So I wanted to quit that job, and also my car was going through issues, so I wanted to buy a car, and then just a whole bunch of other stuff that I wanted to do. And I did complete a lot of those. I wanted to get my substitute teaching permit. I got that. I bought a car. I quit that job. I have found meaningful employment, even if it is freelance. And I had part of that was also my graphic novel pitch and working on Portal House, and I have been making strides in that. My graphic novel pitch is fully inked, so I'm in the coloring phase, and Portal House is now over halfway written. I only have 10 chapters left to write and an epilogue. So that's kind of the update from like the mid-year goals. So moving into Q4, which I have written down on this piece of paper, which is getting blown out by the ring light right now. But the format is from Lavender's Artist of Life workbook. This is actually from the 2022 one, which was when I bought it. So I had printed all this out, and it's just Q4 theme. I had it printed out, so I was like, let me use it. So generally, I've divided my Q4 goals and projects into kind of 3 overall categories: creative, residencies, and other. So yeah, I had 2 residencies earlier this year, and they were phenomenal. I loved it. I really enjoy going on residencies. It's just such a great way to just refocus on just art, especially since it's so hard to find time for art in my day-to-day. I'm getting better about it. I wouldn't say getting better about it, but I'm trying different ways to try to be better about it, but it is still a struggle. Anyone who works and their main job is not art, or even if it is, knows how hard it is to make time for your kind of personal projects, especially if you have any kind of neurodivergence to work through. I'm also in like a better headspace in terms of like applying to stuff like that, so that's also why it's one of the goals. So let's go into it. So for creative, I have 4 main projects. There's a family zine that I do with my family, and I want to work on my submission, but I'm also, because I'm the one that came up with the idea, also responsible for the layout and printing and all that stuff. So that is a big project that is going to start kicking off soon. Graphic novel pitch, I want that finished. My original goal was to have it finished by now so I could start querying agents by now with it, but hasn't happened. I got really stuck on how I wanted to approach the coloring and got overwhelmed and intimidated and stopped. But fortunately, earlier today I went to a comics club meetup and I made some pretty significant progress there. Everything is color blocked, which was my goal for October, and I feel like I can just keep pushing ahead if I want to and get ahead of the game. For Portal House this year, like for the remainder of the year, I want to finish writing all the chapters. It's ironic because last year I was in this kind of same position, but for book 1, which was the same chapters as the entire series now. But yeah, so I want to finish writing the 10 chapters. And then there is a different collaborative zine that I work on with a bunch of my friends under our Hyperfixate art collective. And I want to at least script out my idea. That doesn't really have to come together until March, but I at least want to kind of have an idea of what I'm going to do. I have a short list of the ones that I want to apply for and start working on. There's one in New York, there's a couple in Alaska, there's one in Wyoming again, there's one in Oregon, another one on the East Coast somewhere, I think it's Virginia, and another one that I believe is also in New York. So I have a list of those. 2 of them I want to work on the application this month. Actually, the first New York one, or the one that I know is in New York, is due on the 15th, so I really got to work on that. And the first Alaska one is due at the end of the month. So those are like my goals on what I want to apply for, and there's also a graduate fellowship that I will be applying for as well. And in terms of other, I want to continue my marathon training. Today was a struggle, but I got it done, got my 4-mile easy in. Just continue doing that. My goal, I'm shooting for the Conquer LA Challenge. I just did the Santa Monica Classic, which is a 10K last month. So next is the Rose Bowl half and then the LA Marathon. So I'm following the training plan for that. Continuing doing KCCLA Korean class. I recently picked that up, as in literally this week again, because they have free online classes. And I used to take classes with them before, and I figure even if I can't do like the perfect studying schedule, at least once a week will at least keep me thinking about Korean once a week, which is more than no times a week. So that's my thought there. At least practice. And the teacher really emphasizes speaking practice and even writing, which I really appreciate. It's just good to just have that there. Editing my YouTube videos. I have 3 other YouTube videos that I filmed prior to this one, so I want to get those edited as well, especially because some of them are Hobonichi related, so we'll see what comes out in what order. But if they haven't come out because I decided to put this one first, just know my Hobonichi haul did come in. I have filmed it. I've also talked about what I'm planning for 2026 with that, so be on the lookout for those videos soon. I want to read 8 more books because that's how many books I have left on my list. I recently bought a viola, so on here is unsticking the viola peg. It feels like a small thing, but I just want that on here as like, make sure you do that. I want to get that done this year. And then some Gundam things like migrating my cards into a binder and stuff. It's small stuff, but it's just on there because I'm like, oh yeah, make sure you do that. So those are my Q4 goals. And specifically for October, there's 2 residencies. I want to work on my submission for my family zine. Already blocked out my background colors for my graphic novel pitch. I might try to push through that and continue with like actually coloring things. And I want to write 4 chapters for Portal House this month at least. And then I want to get caught up on my video editing, filming this video. That was one of my to-do lists. And doing my Gundam migration, getting that out of the way. My binder comes in tomorrow, so I'm very excited about that. I actually went to play some casual games with someone that I see at locals pretty often. And I got to try out the Academy Aggro. If you know, you know. That is a really fun deck if it is actually working for you. And it was one of the closest matches I've had in a while. It was truly down to the final shield, which turned out to be a base, and that was kind of it. But very fun. That's my goals for October. And another thing also that I'm trying for October is I'm trying out a new schedule. Last month, basically, I was trying to save the morning for my creative hours, but like I could not get out of bed. Even if I woke up early, like waking up early was not even the problem. Getting out of bed was the problem. I just could not do it. Could not get myself to get out of bed unless like I literally had to go somewhere. So I'm going to try to kind of work with what I already do, and instead of trying to force myself to get out of bed and also force myself to be in bed by a certain time, I'm just going to do no alarms, no bedtimes, and instead, after I've gotten all my work done for the day or whatever, after that, literally the after hours, that will be my creative time. I'm gonna try creative after hours, basically. So even if I'm up till 2, if like I'm done with all my work by 11, which don't freak out, my work day doesn't start until 1:30 or 2, and I do take breaks for dinner and things like that. If I'm like done with my design work by like 11 or 12, then after that is like, okay, this is like creative time now. So that's what I'm going to try for this month, and I'm going to see how that works, to see if that works for me, while I have the flexibility to create my own schedule and be able to play around with things like this. And yeah, so we will test that out this month, and we'll see how that goes. I've built out my new schedule for that, put it up on my monitor so I can see it, so we'll see. But yeah, I am very excited for October. I don't have any travel anticipated for October, so it is truly just 31 days of staying in town. For the most part, no weekend trips, nothing majorly disruptive, knock on wood, that's planned anyways. And I'm really hoping to like lock in, because I know once November rolls around, we're gonna start being busy central all over again, and December is just gonna like, I feel like after October, everything's gonna zoom by. So I really want to take this month to be an opportunity to kind of recover from the mess that was Q3 and lock in and finish and end the year strong. So that's my thought. Those are my goals. Wanted to share them with you guys. Let me know what your goals are. I love hearing about people's goals. I'd love to hear what you've got planned for Q4. How are you doing on your 2025 goals? And yeah, let's talk. Let me know in the comments. I will most likely respond unless you're being a weirdo. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. As always, I do appreciate all of you. At the time of recording, sub 100 subscribers channel. Appreciate every single view and comment and like and subscription, honestly. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.